Hey, what's up guys? It's Kev-D Fitness, and I'm going to do some Q&A videos. This is the first of the videos, and I've got a lot of great questions here. So I'm going to start with 3 great questions I got from some of my Facebook friends. So let's just get right into it. First, Alex asks me, my question is about muscle memory. If you get to a certain weight and build a certain amount of muscle, then lose weight, is it easier to get back to where you were as opposed to building new muscle? Alex, yes, this is a fact. You know, if you, let's say you work out for 2 or 3 or 4 years and you build a really good physique, a good muscular base, and then for whatever reason, injury, work-related, life-related, you have to take some time off, you know, 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, and you lose a lot of your muscle mass. When you start working out again, your strength and your muscle size will come back much faster than even when you first put it on. It is like a muscle memory, you know. Your muscles just get pumped up and big and strong much quicker after you've initially developed it. So, Alex, this is a fact. So if you got to take some time off for whatever reason, don't worry. Once you get back in the gym, you start training consistently, give it some time, your muscle will come back really quickly. Okay, Joseph asked me, can you drop weight and gain strength and tone up at the same time, or should you focus on fat loss and then muscle tone / gain? Okay, there's a couple things that I need to address here. First, muscle tone is a function of 2 things. Having a low enough body fat percentage where you can actually see the muscles, and 2, having big enough muscles where you have some muscle separation. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have seen like really skinny guys who are, you know, are really lean, have a low body fat percentage, but they don't look like they have any muscle tone. That's because their muscles just aren't big enough to have separation. You know, like for example, you know, when I flex, hopefully you can see this, you can see the separation of the muscles between the biceps, the brachialis, my triceps. They're big enough, the muscles are big enough so you can see the separation in the individual muscles or individual heads of a muscle. If you don't have that size, you're not going to get tone. That's number 1. So I just want to clear that up, what really is tone. And I've done a video on that before, guys, as to, you know, what really defines being toned. What is muscle tone? Now the question is, can you drop weight and gain strength and tone up at the same time? Yes, yes you can. You can get stronger while losing weight. I've been on a cut and I've been getting stronger. If you've been seeing my Facebook statuses, you know, I hit a PR on my beltless deadlifts the other day. I did 425 for 3 sets of 6 reps, beltless, and that was a PR for me. I'd never done that much before, and I'm 2 months into a cut and at a pretty low body fat percentage. The thing is, as your body fat percentage gets lower and lower and lower, it gets harder and harder and harder to get strength gains, and you're actually going to start reversing your strength. For example, using myself again, I am going down in my strength on a lot of my push exercises. My bench press is down. I'm weaker on my bench press. I'm weaker on my overhead press. My squats are starting to suffer. Last week was the first week where I really had a real pain in the ass squat session, where I just didn't feel like I had it. But you can gain strength and lose weight at the same time. And in the process of losing weight, you will become more toned, assuming you have enough muscle mass there to actually be toned. Now, on the second half of your question, should you focus on fat loss and then muscle tone / gain? I've addressed the muscle tone part. Yes, you should focus on either or, in my opinion. You focus on either fat loss and maintaining your muscle mass through continuing to lift weights and, of course, trying to get stronger at the same time and progress. There's no reason you should stop trying to do that, even if you're in a cutting phase and trying to lose weight. And then the second aspect is, you know, you do a bulk. I prefer clean bulks, as you guys know. You know, don't go on complete dirty bulk and get fat as hell. It just makes the cut that much harder. To gain muscle then, okay? Do it in 2 separate phases, okay? You want to focus on one goal at a time. Trying to focus, gaining muscle and losing body fat at the same time is very difficult. It really only happens, guys, if you're totally new to training, if, like, going back to Alex's question, the first question, you had stopped training, lost a lot of muscle mass, and started training again. That's another time when you can gain muscle and lose body fat at the same time. Or if you're new to steroids, or taking steroids, you can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. If you're not in either of those three situations, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. And the fact that, you know, the biggest, for a natural lifter, the biggest factor in muscle gain, assuming you're working hard in the gym and making progressive overload, making sure you're increasing the weight on the bar, is being in a calorie surplus. So if you're not in a calorie surplus, which you have to not be in a calorie surplus to lose body fat. So if you're not in a calorie surplus, it's going to be very hard to put on muscle in any appreciable amount. So yeah, split it up. You know, focus on gaining muscle, then focus on losing the fat while maintaining muscle. Okay, this is very important, guys. A lot of people are too focused on I want to get huge and I want to get ripped at the same time. Guys, it's not going to happen, guys, if you're a natural. It's not, unless you're brand new to training. It's not going to happen. Okay? So you have to focus on one goal at a time. That's why you see so many people year after year looking the same, because they're just trying to do something that's very, very, very difficult to do and is not optimal. Okay? And I know people hate having the word optimal thrown around, but if you're a natural, you want to bulk and cut, bulk and cut. That's how you go about it. That was a really long answer, Joe, but that was a very involved question. So I wanted to make sure I was as thorough with the answer as possible. Okay, Rocky asked me, what are your tips and advice for prepping your meals for the week? I'm trying to diet, but find that anytime I don't have meals pre-made, I tend to eat horribly. Rocky, yeah, that's very, very common. To eat healthy, it does take some work and it takes some effort. You know, it's not as easy as just running down and picking up, you know, a bagel at the bagel shop or McDonald's. You know, you can just hit the drive-thru and go and you got dinner. You know, it takes some time. What I like to do, and what I found is the easiest, and I did a video on this earlier if you check out my YouTube channel. I like to do a big cooking day, what I call a big cooking day. So I usually take Sunday and I will spend 2 hours or so prepping and cooking food for the week. I'll cook my chicken. I'll make, which I use for my lunch primarily. I make chili, which I use for my lunch primarily. I'll make things like meatballs, meatloaf, just simple things like that that I can take right out the fridge when I get home from work, and then from working out at night, put on a plate and eat. I'll cook all my sweet potatoes for the week. I will cook all my broccoli for the week, and I just put it in Tupperware containers and put it in the fridge. And you know, I'll prep my meals the night before for my lunch during the day. And then for the most part, my dinner is usually made. And then, you know, sometimes at night, maybe I'll make pasta, which is quick and easy, rice, which is quick and easy. But I have the things that take more time to cook, I typically have cooked already. You know, my chicken, my meatloaf, you know. And that's really the best piece of advice I can give you is just prep your food over the weekend, or whenever's convenient for you, so that during the week you can just pull it out the fridge and you have healthy, nutritious food there. And if you want to have, obviously it's good to get a little variety in, then maybe you only have to cook one thing at night or two things at night and don't have to prepare a whole entire meal or a whole entire day's meals the night before. It's already in there for you. You know, so if you cook 3-4 pounds of chicken, boom, you got chicken for the week. You make a big thing of chili or rice and beans, if you like rice and beans or something like that, you have it for the week. And you can just put it in containers and use it as needed. And that's the best piece of advice that I can give you as far as prepping your meals. You know, I have found that to be the absolute best way to do it. And there's always those, you know, simple things you can do too. Things like tuna fish are very quick if you like tuna. You can make sandwiches. I'm not a big fan of cold cuts, but I know some people do like cold cuts. I'm not a big fan personally. It's kind of like the bottom of the barrel meat in my opinion. Same thing with hot dogs. But you know, but those types of things you can prep really quick. So you always look to get food that you can prep quick and prep as much of it as you can ahead of time. You'll save a lot of time, You'll save a lot of effort, and you will run into that problem where if you don't have those pre-made meals, you're kind of like, oh man, I'm going to eat horribly just because I don't want to put in the effort to make a healthy meal, which might take a lot of time because the food's already made for you. So guys, I hope you found, I hope I answered your question. Good for everybody who answered your question. And I hope you found this information informative and helpful, and you can apply some of those tips to your own fitness, your own nutrition, your own diet, and to help build up your physique and your overall health. Thanks guys. I'll talk to you in the next Q&A. It's going to be coming up shortly.